So welcome everyone to another Results Now webinar. This is Jeff Herring, your host, and we are broadcasting live from our virtual studios about 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia, in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. And our topic today is profitable online visibility. Welcome Janet from Calgary, Alberta. Thank you for taking us into Canada. Get Found, the web presence map to more visibility and profits. In the Results Now mini workshop portion of our show, we will walk you through and show you that map. Simply follow the map and you will know two cool things: where to share your content for more visibility and what order in which to share it. This is something, oh my goodness, I wish I knew when I first started. You guys get to know it from the get-go. So a couple of announcements, actually just one as we get going here. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I will be down in Atlanta speaking at the Novice to Advanced Marketing System Workshop. That's NAMS. There's the link, namswithjeff.com. Many of you are going, so looking forward to meeting some of you face-to-face for the first time. All of you that are going through this link, be happy to help you choose what workshops to go through, or two, or through, or both. The way it's set up down at NAMS is that the day opens and closes with a keynote talk, and the rest of the time is 4 different tracks, kind of like a university setup, and I will help you pick different ones to go to that are right for you, and also avoid the ones that aren't right for you. And we will have a closed door mastermind meeting during that time as well, just the folks that come in through me. And I will bring in a special guest to mastermind with us as well. So there is that link. And if you cannot make it to NAMS, I want you to put this on your calendar right now. Mark it on your calendar for Friday morning at, let's say, 11 o'clock. August 1st, Friday morning, August 1st at 11 o'clock, watch your email for a special announcement of a really cool thing I've arranged for you. So that's that. So why should you listen to me? Especially if how many of you are joining us for the first time? Let us know that, please, in the Q&A. Awesome. I see you there, folks. Good. Okay, so why listen to me? Now, this will not be one of those long 30-minute ordeals. This will take under 5 minutes, okay? So what got me from private practice therapist full-time to online trainer, teacher, mentor full-time was this column here. I started writing for the local newspaper on relationships. And it showed me what happens when people can find your content on a regular basis and see how you approach their problems and how you solve their problems. And it changes that dynamic completely, folks, from you having to pursue clients to clients pursuing you. It's a beautiful thing. Snapshot of speaking down there in Atlanta at the NAMS conference. And then here's my big 4. Dan Kennedy, Lisa Sasevich, Alex Mondosian, who will be down there with us at NAMS, and Tom Antion, all of who I've either done content marketing for behind the scenes or they use this stuff that you're going to be learning today with their students and with themselves. So, and guess what? You don't have to just take my word for it. Guess what you can do? Check it out from Entrepreneur Magazine online. Content marketing is king and the preferred marketing tool for today's entrepreneur. So, now here is our mission in everything we do. It's helping online entrepreneurs just like you go further, faster. It doesn't have to take so long when you use the right tools, folks. So, giving you the big picture here of 5 simple steps to 6-figure success. First, content creation. Unleashing your message and making a difference in the world. Second, online visibility, the focus of our webinar today, getting found all over your niche as the go-to expert. Third, traffic generation, creating evergreen waves of high-quality traffic of ideal prospects. Fourth, list building, highly responsive list of gold. And fifth, product creation, taking those, that content you create and turning it into products, resources, trainings for your community. Now, with that said, if this is for you, here's how you'll know. If you're a beginner, I'm glad you're here because you're in the right place to learn how to do this right from the beginning without the usual big mistakes. Maybe you've been doing this for a while and you're not yet making the income you know you deserve. Oh my goodness, you're in the right place. I'm so glad you're here because I want to get you past that stuck place. And if you're an expert looking for a powerful edge, you are also in the right place. I appreciate you being here. So here's what you're about to discover. Some webinar wisdom to get us started, the online visibility mindset, so you can look at this the right way, so you can do this the right way. And then 3 big online visibility mistakes, and of course, what to do instead. And then we're going to look at the power of online visibility. We're going to do a little results now mini workshop. I'm going to show you the map, and I'm going to have you do one piece of the map. And then an online visibility genius strategy, walk you through your next success steps, how to run with this and profit, and like all my events, so much more. And like all my events, this one has 2 sponsors. It's going to be the Content Sharing Profits course about online visibility, powerful strategies to increase your web presence. That means, folks, at the end of this show, there will be an offer. And I do not want you to invest in it. Serious about that. Unless I've delivered on all my promises I just made. And I'll come to you and ask you if I've delivered on all those promises. And then if I have, then I want you to seriously consider coming on board with Content Sharing Profits, that course. Sound like a fair deal? If I deliver on what I say I want to deliver, then, you seriously consider coming on board. Okay, good, fair deal. Now, other sponsor we always have is Outnumber Hunger, organization that feeds. Thank you, Diane, telling me that's fair. Appreciate that. Organization that feeds local families who would not otherwise eat. And so a portion of everything that comes in from our webinars goes to that organization. So not only are you invested in yourself, you're invested in helping people eat, which is a pretty cool thing. All right, now here's a little bit of webinar wisdom. I see you everywhere, quoted by your ideal clients. Now that phrase comes from a good friend of mine, a colleague, Denise Wakeman, and she says that when you begin to hear people say, I see you everywhere, that way you know you're getting seen online. And we're going to show you just how to do that in this show. Now, the online visibility mindset. Here's what it's not about. Keeping up with every like, every comment, and every new platform and living online all day long. It may look like I'm online all the time. I'm not. And I'll show you how that works. Okay? Here's what the mindset is. Strategically choosing and leveraging the best platforms for your message. That's a good one to write down, folks. Strategically choosing and leveraging the best platforms for your message. That's real different than jumping on every new bandwagon and trying to keep up with everything. I don't. You don't have to either, and nor should you. Okay, so let's look at 3 big online visibility blunders and what to do instead. How about that? All right, blunder number 1 is ignoring social media. A lot of people do that still at their own peril. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be on it all the time. You just need to use it to leverage traffic and profits. Like I said, instead, you want to leverage this stuff. You don't have to like and respond and tweet and do all that stuff all the time, but you do want to leverage it because it is no longer a fad. It is a way to get visible online. Now, you guys, in a lot of ways, are fortunate and blessed because back when I first started full-time, we had websites and we had email. And then we started doing teleseminars. That was it. Okay? Didn't have all this great way to get seen online. And so I want to help you leverage that. Blunder number 2, coming on to a social media site and just doing promotion. Even if that's your own blog. Promotion. Okay? That's the best way to get not listened to, not paid attention to, and ignored really quickly. What do you do instead? Engagement, engagement, and then promotion. Okay? A couple people to watch how we do it. Joel Comm is a good person to watch on how that's done. I'm a good person to watch on how that's done. What you want to do is engage people and then occasionally promote. Blunder number 3, starting out there. Okay, this is one of the mistakes I was making in putting stuff out there in different places before I put it at home. And home is your blog. That is a starting place for much of your content sharing. So, the power of online visibility. Folks, you got to be visible. You can have the best resources, the best training, the coolest site ever. If no one can find it, you're not visible. What the heck difference does it make? Okay? And by doing that the right way, you create an engaged following. When you create an engaged following, people spend money with you. It's as simple as that. Okay? And by doing this right, you become seen as an authority or the authority in your niche, and you profit from that. It's a very, very, very cool thing. Now, told you at the beginning of the show, maybe right before we started, that we have a new feature that we're introducing in this webinar. And actually, I thought this up in church, okay? Because comedian Jeff Foxworthy goes to the same church I do, or I go to the same church he does, however you want to say it. If you're not familiar with him, great comedian, best probably known for You Might Be a Redneck If. So, with the tip of the hat to Jeff Foxworthy, here is You Might Be an Internet Marketer. How about that? You guys ready? Let me know if you're ready for this in the Q&A. Give me a yay or nay. You ready for You Might Be an Internet Marketer? Yep. Yeah. All right, here we go. So, if you think your keyboard makes a great pillow, you might be an internet marketer. Now, you guys are laughing, but you're guilty of this, aren't you? I bet you are. If you've ever checked your phone for orders while making love, I tried to be discreet with this picture, you might be an internet marketer. Okay? And last but not least, if your children have ever answered the question, what does your dad or mom do with, I'm not sure, he or she just does some weird stuff online, you might be an internet marketer. That comes from a true story. That's what my oldest son would say when he was younger. I'm not sure what he does. He just does some weird stuff online. Great, son. Way to go. Now, you guys ready? Diane, you're funny. Oh, my God. Instant death. Now that we've done that, are you guys ready, welcome Dean, to dive in to our Results Now mini workshop and get into this really cool map? Yes. Thank you. You guys are all screaming yeses. That little scene about making love got to you, didn't it? All right, so here we go. Now, I used to do this all wrong. I would put stuff elsewhere before I put it on my blog. And one of the things that happened is I got together with a good friend, Niall Nickel, who is a very, very strong social media expert, especially in the area of LinkedIn and what all goes on with that. And so some of this I learned from Niall and doing a course with him. We taught it together. Some of you were there. Here is not only a list of 12 places to put your content, it's the order in which you should do it. Start with your blog, folks. Why? It's owned by you, and this way it gets credited to you first by Google and by other places. So start with your blog. Another reason to do that is you end up being able to put a lot of stuff on your blog. You wonder what to blog about? Any of the content that you're going to go put on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, put it on your blog first, okay? Now, a lot of people do not take this next step, which is putting it out to your email community. emailing your community about it. Now, one of the reasons that my community tolerates pretty much an email a day about something is this, that I send you good stuff. I send you infographics of stuff. I send you cool videos, cool articles, things to read and watch. Hang on just a second. Here we go. Great. Thank you. One of the pups getting a little excited here and needs to go rest in his crate. Next is Facebook. Okay, handle Facebook well, and you can get a lot of engagement with people. Check out my Facebook. Many of us communicate back over there. A good place to be. YouTube. I'm going to break that down for you a little bit and make it a whole lot easier than it sounds. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is so much more powerful than anybody could ever imagine. And in our content sharing profits course, we go deep into that and how to use it. Twitter used to be real powerful, still is. Google Plus, Pinterest. I've just started to play around with Pinterest. Reddit, stumbled upon, and Tumblr are social marketing sort of bookmarking places. Tumblr is its own, you have your own blog there. All of these places are places that get found, in addition with the last one, Ezine articles. Now, one of the ways I was doing it wrong before I got with Niall and started doing this course is I was putting stuff on Ezine articles first, and then my blog, and then other places. And what I discovered was not only was I doing it wrong, that should be last. Oops. Here's a nice comment from Leanne. Jeff, you're great about adding value to others and what you send. That's why I read your emails even though I am busy. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate that. Oh, Jane, thank you for that question. And I'm going to give you, here's the answer to your question, Jane. I'm going to give you the answer, then I'm going to tell everybody the question. Okay, Jane, the answer to your question is jeffherring.com/duplicate-content. Okay? jeffherring.com/duplicate-content. Jane's question is, don't you get penalized for duplicate content if you put the same blog everywhere? Okay? If you put the exact same blog post everywhere, possibly, or you put it in multiple places in your blog, but if you put content, the same piece of content, or directions to get to that piece of content in all these places, or some derivative of that content, that's okay. Now, the best way to get a deeper answer to that is go to that site I just sent Jane to, jeffherring.com/duplicate-content. Now, here's what happens when you do this. When you use these places to drive traffic back to your full content, perhaps on your blog or a video, you're not only becoming very visible online, you're driving traffic. Now, one way to talk about this, of course, is repurposing. And I remember, this is back in 2004, probably, when I was first trying to figure out this internet marketing stuff, and was working with Tom Antion, my first online mentor. And he did a teleseminar back in those days on 21 ways to repurpose an article, your content, basically. And on that teleseminar, I asked him, I said, Tom, what would happen if somebody took a piece of content and put it in all 21 of these places? I'm just showing you 12. He was showing 21. And he said, well, a couple of things would happen. One, you'd get very well known very fast and be seen as a go-to person in your niche. Okay, so pop quiz. How do you think I got seen online very fast as an expert in content marketing? I did what I'm showing you. Okay, and there's different ways to do it, and I'm going to walk you through that as I reveal the map we've talked about. Okay, here is your content sharing map, and it starts with your content and ends in profits. All right, so now, if any of you don't have a blog, my goodness, get a blog. It's not hard. All right. Now, what do you put on your blog? But Jeff, I don't know what to say every day. I'm not Seth Godin. Well, you know what? Seth Godin wasn't born Seth Godin. He was just born a wrinkly little kid like the rest of us, right? He just decided to focus on something. Now, you can do all kinds of things on your blog. You can do text, you can do audios, you can do videos, you can do replays of your events like I do. You can put a infographic, you can put a one-sentence thought, you can put an entire article on there. Okay? It's not a matter of writing a book every time you do a blog post. It's a matter of consistency. And that way your blog not only becomes the hub of your system, but it becomes a place people want to go to. Okay? So you put something on your blog, and let's just say it's a video. Okay? Let's just say it's a video. And then you mail your community, your list community, and say, hey, just uploaded this cool video for you over on the blog. Here's the link. Go check it out. How hard is that to send an email out? It's not hard. It's simple. Okay. Now, the next step is getting that out on Facebook. Now, let's say you've got a video. Well, those can display on Facebook. Alternatively, you can provide a link going back to the video on your blog. Now, let's say you have content, you have written content on your blog, and you're going to use your, you're going to let people know about that on Facebook. All right. Now, here's what not to do. Don't put the entire piece of written content on Facebook. Why? Because the whole point is to get traffic back to your world, the world you own. Yeah, you've got a list of followers on Facebook and subscribers on YouTube and friends here and this and that everywhere else. All those sites are owned by someone else. They're not owned by you. That's why you want to get them back to your blog, to your list, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So here's what I do when I'm posting written content on Facebook. I'll start it on Facebook, and then at some intriguing spot in the content, I'll stop and provide a link to read the rest of it on my blog. It brings people over to your blog. Okay? And then now, if you started with a video on your blog, easy to put a video on YouTube. Listen, how many of y'all have heard me ever talk about, in the last 2 months, a very, very inexpensive tool called Video Maker FX? Let me know in the Q&A if you've heard me talk about that. Because if you haven't, you've been living under a big rock, under the water. Yes, of course. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. The reason I've done that is it's a very inexpensive, great tool for making cool videos. Okay. Chris says, yes, and I got it. Awesome. Okay. So, easy way to create a video. Put it on your blog, put it on YouTube. Now, in a minute, later on, I'm going to show you, later on when we do the next success steps, there'll be some links you can go to. And then when you see this in the replay, those will be clickable links right out of YouTube. There's a way to do that now. And so if you've done a piece of content with 3 tips or 3 subheadings, don't make an entire video out of it. Make a video for each tip. Okay? Driving people either to an opt-in page, your blog, etc. Now, LinkedIn. People still think, wrongly, Mike, I love it. He's ranked VMX videos on page 1 in less than a week. I'm not at all surprised. That's how good those things are. Way to go, Mike. LinkedIn, some people still think of it as only a job search site. It is so much more than that, especially when you have groups over on LinkedIn. It's groups you can email and invite to places. And they've just grown so much in the usability of their platform and getting people involved in your world, back in your community. Okay? Now, I remember when I first got into Twitter years ago, and it took me a while because I thought, who cares what I had for lunch? I don't remember. And then I had colleagues telling me they were getting so much traffic from Twitter. That interested me in Twitter. Traffic will get me paying attention to a place. And so Twitter has gone through lots of changes. Okay, I don't spend any time over there myself. I have one of my team put stuff up over there for me. But, you know, a significant portion of people come to these webinars through Twitter. So it's not to be neglected. Google Plus, some people say it's dying. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Right now, it's still highly ranked because Google's part of it. Get the part that's part of like Google Plus. See, put videos there. Put links to content there. Pinterest. How many of y'all have a Pinterest account? Just say yes in the Q&A. You got a Pinterest account. Connie, Mike, Marlene, good job. Dean's got several. Good for you. I'm bringing in some people soon to give you some training in that. I've just gotten into it, and the amount of traffic you can pull is just kind of crazy good. Now, but how can you put content on Pinterest, Jeff? Well, I'm going to give you a little tool, or the link to a little tool in a minute. But you do infographics, okay? You're looking at an infographic right now. A lot of times I email you infographics about webinars. Pictures work. Reddit, StumbleUpon, and Tumblr are all social bookmarking sites that you put a little bit of information on, directing them back to wherever you want them to go. Could be to a video on YouTube. Could be to something on your blog. But it's... Kent, you're funny. Nay in the Q&A. Not doing Pinterest yet. All right. That's cool. And so those are all good places to get traffic from. Reddit, StumbleUpon, Tumblr. And then, last but not least, those of you that do articles or blog posts, easing articles is still a traffic driver. They're not what they used to be. And that's part of the reason why they're last on this list, but they're still good. Okay, now, I know what you're thinking and wondering. What would happen if I used all of these for a piece of content? You would get well known in your niche very quickly. Might even become one of the thought leaders in your niche. And you'd get a lot of traffic, and you'd get a lot of visibility, and you'd probably build your list. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you a way to do this, Mary, because Mary's saying, what would you do if you did this? You'd get worn out. You don't have to. Okay? This is easy to do, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that in just a minute. So thank you for that that joke, Mary, because, yeah, if you did this all by yourself, each thing, I mean, it'd be worth it, but it would kind of wear you out. So now let's take this, and there's a bigger picture of it, and let's take this and play with it. Okay, let's put some hands and feet on this. Let's practice. Okay, and let's just use Facebook, because every one of you probably got a Facebook account. So seriously, play with this right now. Okay, you can put something as simple as, hey, I'm on a webinar with Jeff Herring and blah 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 blah, or you can put something that sends them back to someplace in your blog, an opt-in page, whatever, okay? Now, here is an example of something I do. And hang on just a second. Some people were asking, what tool do I use for infographics? Well, one is Pictograph, or Pictochart. The easiest one to do, okay? Remember this graphic from a little while ago? It was the webinar wisdom for our webinar, right? And so all I do is use a little tool called WordSwag app. If you have an iPhone, just go to the apps and look up WordSwag. I think it's either free or like pennies. And what it allows you to do is use their pictures or pictures you have taken, okay, and then put words on it. And you can upload it to Facebook, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. I'll put it there, and then I'll take a screenshot of it and put it other places, okay? So with that, right now you can be over at Facebook typing something to send them to your blog, or later on, what I want you to do is go get the WordSwag app and see, all the studies show that if you just put words on Facebook, okay, or versus you put a graphic, the graphic's going to pull more. Okay, so I could write over on Facebook, I see you everywhere, your ideal clients, come to today's webinar. Or I could put this graphic there and some text that says, here's what we'll be focused on in today's webinar. Come join us. It's going to pull more. Probably there's some of you on here that came in that way. All right, so now I'm making this very, very simple for you so you can have success and do some of this either right now while we're on the webinar or later. Okay, so again, those of you, I don't know if it's available on other phones. All I know is it's available on iPhone. Here is what it sounds like when you open it up. I'll put it up here by the microphone as I go over there. Well, that's what I get for having my phone turned off. Anyway, I just opened it up, and you can use their pictures. You can use your own pictures. So one of the things I do when I'm out in the world, I see a good sunset. I see a good set of trees, some cool clouds. When I go hiking, when I go anywhere, I take pictures and use them as graphics. It's easy to do. Your phone's right there. And then quotes, invitations. It's a great way to do engagement on Facebook. When you use your Facebook for engagement, you wind up with more profits, okay? Because people spend money with people they're engaged with, okay, that they talk to and see as a regular person, okay? Watch Joel Comm's Facebook, watch my Facebook for how to do that. Now, we're going to talk about some ways to get this done a whole lot easier when we get to the genius strategy in a little bit. Mary, you were saying you'd be worn out if you did all this stuff. These are just the top ones. Now, what I want you to do is try them all because you want to find out which ones do the best for you, okay? Google Plus, Twitter, not so great for me lately, but I'm still playing with them to see. I focus mostly on blog, email list, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and now Pinterest, okay? That's where a lot of the stuff's coming from right now, a lot of the traffic, and a lot of my visibility comes from. My guess is, for most of you, if you just did your blog and then picked any three after that, that would probably be about a 300% increase for most of you. Because most of you are sitting around going, well, how can I get known? And blah, blah, and you get frozen, okay? Don't get frozen by there being 12 things here. Pick a few. Start with a few. Do a few. That's why I'm suggesting the practice here on Facebook. Get started, see what works for you, and then do more of that. And then test others. Right now I'm testing Pinterest. So far, so good. Now, here's the reality of the situation, folks. This is why I always encourage you to get your stuff out there. There's more people out there. You've heard me say this a lot of times. There's more people out there waiting to hear your message who can only hear it from you than you'll ever get to in your lifetime. There is no shortage of people out there with which to work. There just isn't. If you've got a scarcity mindset about this, let's change that now. I do not worry if there's enough people out there to invest in my products and services, invest in my higher level trainings, become one of my mentees. Because there's more people out there waiting to hear my message who can only hear it from me than I can get to in my life. Okay? So, good question here from Mark. Do you consider jeffherring.com as a blog page? Yeah, it is a blog. Or more of a branding site with multiple components, including a blog page. It's really both, Mark. Most blogs nowadays will have more than a blog component, but it becomes the center, the hub of your business if you do it right. All right, now, I'm going to walk you through your next success steps, how to take what you've just learned and seen and take this map, run with it, and profit. But I can only do that if I come to you guys, like I promised, and ask you, have I delivered on what I promised you at the beginning of this show? Yes or no, or yay or nay in the Q&A. Thank you for those yeses, folks. Awesome. I appreciate that. All the way from England. Look at all these yeses. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so what you'll experience if you're brand new on this show is I'm going to continue teaching you while I walk you through your next success steps, okay? So you guys know this. I mean, if you've been online for 5 minutes, you know that you got to get visible and get found online. It's just the way this works. However, most people don't do it. Worst case scenario is people get lazy, or they just don't know how, or they've tried it and didn't get the results they thought they would because they were not doing it right. Okay? So that's not your fault because you haven't been taught how to do it right. Okay? No one's ever walked you through it step by step. Now, the journey I'm going to invite you on is one I took myself as I was teaching and learning at the same time with my buddy Mal Nickel, who is such a good online visibility, social media, especially LinkedIn expert. Okay? So, what if you could get with two guys that cared about your success, and there was a way to take away all the fear out of this, the guesswork, and even the hard part, and you could follow a map like you just saw, know what to share and when to share it, and in what order. Because inside content sharing profits, we share even what time of day, what day of the week is best to put your stuff on some of these places. Okay? Would you jump on something like that if you could? Yay or nay in the Q&A. Yays and yeses and yeps and yeah, that's my dog, Carol, not yours. Don't worry about it. Just stay focused, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Here is what's in Content Sharing Profits. Module 1 is what I have in everything. You get started here. Some basics to get you going, to have you in the right place, okay? I've had this experience. I'm sure you've had this experience. So you've had the experience of investing in something and having no idea where to get started and no idea what to do next, right? I take care of that on every product right away. Here's where you get started. Here's what you'll be doing next. In Module 2, we show you how to create something called click magnets to share your content in these places. Connie's been on some of my courses. Only 4 modules. There's usually 5, right? Yeah, just 4 in this one, Connie. Anyway, creating click magnets. Share your content in such a way as people are just compelled to click on it and to follow that content wherever it leads. Okay? So, Module 3 is the awesome secret benefit of groups and doing groups in LinkedIn. That is probably the best thing you can do in social marketing and social media. Module 4, Niall takes you through all the social media specific rules. Niall's one of those guys that just thinks that way and will show you all the rules and all the things to do to be able to do this the right way. Bonus number 1, particular focus on Google plus Pinterest and Facebook. Bonus number 2, LinkedIn groups. Niall teaches a bonus there about how to do LinkedIn groups in a way that's just simply powerful. Now, there'll be some more bonuses. I'll show you those in a minute. Some unannounced cool things. Now, here's how you get involved. The course is already there waiting for you. You don't have to wait for anything. As soon as you're in, you get started, okay? So you can come on board at the link you see right there, jeffherring.com/CSP3 for just 3 payments of only $77. And yeah, you get everything on that first payment, okay? Or if you want to save $34, you get that whole training, that whole course for just 1 payment of $197 at jeffherring.com/CSP1. Now, let me say a couple things about this. We don't yet have the technology. We're on a webinar. You can click on those links. So you got to put them in your browser. And I'm going to here in the chat box here in just a second. However, for those of you that are listening to this on replay, guess what? There is now the technology on a YouTube video to click on a link right in the YouTube video. And guess what? It takes you to that link. So you have clickable links right there in front of you if you're watching this on the replay. Now, the other thing I want to say, some of you, many of you have other items. They usually are 3 payments of 77 or a payment of $197. And you get me, which is a good thing to get, right? I'll put both those links in the chat box for you, so you don't have to type it in your browser. You can just click on them. What you get in this course is 2 people. You get me with my content background, content creation, content sharing background, creating the best kind of content, and then Niall Nick showing you where to put it. He is a premier expert on LinkedIn in the world, I believe, and one of the best social media experts as well. All right, so taking a look at Module 1, get started here. What to share and when to share it is what you're going to get in Module 1. Module 2, this is cool. We provide you with content sharing templates. How to share humor, how to share stories, how to share invites. Okay? That's in Module 2 with creating click magnets. Module 3, how to build your list with LinkedIn groups. Because when you have a group, you can email to that list, send to that list within LinkedIn. Module 4, social media specific rules, insider secrets to get found and get response. Okay? Niall has taught people at LinkedIn things about LinkedIn. Now, it's not just LinkedIn. It's all the different ones we shared, but that's just an example of the insider secrets. Bonus number 1, how to leverage Google+, Pinterest, and Facebook for profit. Bonus number 2, LinkedIn groups, lessons from the master, Niall, who is the premier person in all the world on how to do groups on LinkedIn. Some of you that have been in this course know that to be true. Now, an additional bonus is you get to become part of our private Facebook group on content sharing profits, and you'll get to do a one-on-one bonus call helping you with your content sharing with either me or with Niall. So those are 2 bonuses there. All right, so again, there's your choices. You want to do 3 payments in finance? That's cool. jeffherring.com/CSP3. You want to save $34, 1 payment of $197 at jeffherring.com/CSP1. Both of those links are in your chat box, where you can click on them, or you can just type them into your browser. There is what you're going to get. Now, I will gladly entertain questions about all this now, and welcome to everybody that's coming on board. I see my phone silently doing ka-ching. That's a cool thing. Can't wait to work with you. Now, when you send questions in to our Results Now webinars, please do not be verbose, okay? I don't want the context of the question. Ask the question, okay? So some of you have already done that. I want to go back and grab the one that come in that I did not get to. Do I have a slide of all the ways you can display content? Connie, that's what the content sharing map was all about. Now I've got a course that talks about repurposing that you've already got as a bonus, so you can check that out. See, there was another one up here that I marked, but I'll answer that if you want. Okay. Yeah, Mark, I would do that. Just going, I've got this course. And yeah, go through it, bud. Don't let it become shelf help. This is good stuff. So, folks, there is where you go. Somebody was asking, how did I meet Niall? We met, actually, I met his wife first. I was in a vision weekend group thing with a guy up in New England, and Rosemary, his wife, was in there, and then I met him at a GKIC event, and we just became fast friends because we had the same warped sense of humor. And no Marlene, it wasn't NAMS, although he'll be at NAMS. Let's see, Janet, are creating click magnet templates different from the 5.0 content templates? Yeah, Janet, they're very different. They're social media sharing templates, specifically designed for different sites and for engagement. So yeah, completely different than the content creation templates. So let's see. Do I have to share stuff in all 12 places? You don't have to do anything, Marilyn. It just depends on how visible you want to get and how far you want to take this. Now, come back with me to 2007 when I first started this full-time adventure online. And, you know, I had a whole lot more time than I had money. If you're in that situation where you got a lot of time, you can do a lot of this yourself. Now, there are two ways to make that easier. As you get to the place where you got more money than time, you can certainly hire somebody and have one of your team do different stuff. It's part of what I'm able to do now. Okay. Another way around it is here in our online visibility content sharing genius strategy. And to do that, I'd like you to introduce you to a cherished friend of mine. No, it's not Niall. I want you to please meet somebody named Automation. Okay? Now, somebody that's paying attention, who am I really introducing you to when I introduce you to Automation? What am I really saying? Come on. There you go, Mark. Thank you. Automation. Right. How to automate things. Okay? Now, there's a lot of, Mary and Leslie and Connie got it too, and Marlene, awesome. Jane, yeah, Hootsuite is a good place to do it. I want to introduce you to another one called If This Then That, ifttt.com, where you can set up a lot of stuff that if it shows up on your blog, it automatically goes to a place. If it goes to Facebook, it automatically goes somewhere else. And so you can do one or two things and have it show up in all these places, okay? So write that down, ifttt.com. And it's a free software, and you create recipes over there. And the IFTTT comes from if this, then that. Okay? So to find out what you put in there into IFTTT and how you share your content and what kind of content to share, et cetera, and all the secrets and tips we have in this very powerful course. Again, 3 payments of $77 at jeffherring.com/CSP3, or save $34 and do one investment of $197 at jeffherring.com/CSP1. Now, you'll get all this stuff here, the Get Started Here module that shows you what to share and where to share it and when to share it. The Creating Click Magnets, where you get really cool click magnet templates, different from the content creation templates, because this is a different kind of thing. Mary, you're welcome. IFTTT is cool. Module 3, the awesome secret benefit to groups. Module 4, social media specific rules. So you do this right from the get-go. And then our bonuses. particular emphasis on Google Plus, Pinterest, and Facebook. A very particular emphasis on LinkedIn groups. And then you're part of our private Facebook group, Content Sharing Profits, and you get a call, a consultation with either me or Niall Nickel. All for only 3 payments of $77 or 1 payment of $197. Heather just joined. Awesome. The links are in the chat box, Heather, and they are right there. 3 payments of $77 at jeffherring.com/CSP3, or 1 payment, save yourself a little bit of money, $34 at $197. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We want to help you get visible online so you can get out there and make the difference you're called to make in the world. All right. So if you've got other questions, Heather, you can't see any chat box. Well, then right there on the screen, write this down, Heather. See what they are. See the first one? 3 payments. Write that down. 1 payment. Write that down. So Mark's asking a great question. When in this process would you create a teleseminar like the one you're doing now? Well, this is a webinar, but a teleseminar is very similar. Okay? And those are 2 great ways of getting online visibility. That's part of what propelled me to getting well known when I first started back in 2007, because I did weekly teleseminars. Okay? So at what point would you do this? If you've got a list community of 10 or more, Mark, I would start doing it now and use all those different pieces in the map, those 12 different sites, as a way to drive traffic to your webinar. I did a lot of that to get you guys here, to get so many people on this webinar. Okay? So awesome thing to do, Mark. Carol says, that was a great question, Mark, and a great answer, Jeff. Well, I'll say you're welcome, or thank you from Mark, and I'll say thank you from me, too. So, folks, we got it all mapped out for you how to get started. Come on board. 3 payments of $77, jeffherring.com/CSP3, or 1 payment of $197, jeffherring.com/CSP1. I want to thank you for hanging out with us, because you've already invested your most valuable resource by investing your time with us. Go ahead and go get this stuff at those 2 links you see on the screen or in your chat box, and invest another asset of yours to go further, faster, which is my mission online, to help online entrepreneurs go further, faster. So go get this stuff and go use this stuff. And folks, we'll catch you next time.